5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, Sarvesh.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? Welcome to Truth Room Experience.
I'm glad I'm here.
It was pretty quick response. I actually pretty much was like, yeah, perfect.
Edit out the awkward silence, bro.
It was no, I meant a quick response when I actually texted you. Yeah.
All right, yeah. I don't know. I have a soft spot for podcasts, so
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like it's the most natural way you can record someone or get to have a conversation with someone. I mean, everything else is not as natural as a podcast.
Yeah, interviews.
Interviews are pretty much staged because it's going
Yeah.
to be Q&A, and they mail questions to other people, whatever it is. I mean, they essentially stage it, but podcasts are not like that. You just sit back, have a conversation.
Yeah. Talk about world, talk about life, talk about politics.
Mm-hmm.
If one wants to indulge in that, it depends.
If one.
Yeah, exactly. How awkward has it become that suddenly when you're actually on a podcast or any sort of conversation that's going to be podcasted to a lot of people, and then you're like, oh, let's talk politics, and it's like an elephant in the room kind of situation.
Yeah, now I know why it's called Truth Room Experience.
Yeah.
No, I think it's okay. I mean, essentially, you're supposed to have view about politics. I mean, you're supposed to have opinions about politics. Good or bad, or right or wrong is the next stage. But, I mean, you're subject to a system that governs you every single second. So you might as well get to know as much about it and have an opinion about it.
True. But it's also like freedom of speech. I can talk whatever I want.
Yeah,
talk, kind of
I
thing,
think the problem
Why
is
do we have to feel
Yeah.
nervous about talking about politics?
It
I can
shouldn't.
say what we want to say.
it shouldn't. I mean, we've made it nervous now because like everyone outside has a really loud voice, and they don't stop with just voices and opinions anymore. It's so messed up. Which is why everybody on record, I think, tries to be shy of politics.
Shy or just take a, I don't know, weird stance.
No, it's not.
It's
Okay,
more
I
like
mean, as long as you're taking a populist stance, I guess it's okay.
No, I would love to see someone take a neutral stand in things. That
I
would
don't
be
think it's
better.
possible
So
to
why
take
not?
a truly neutral. How would you describe a truly
you're
neutral
either far
stance?
right or you're far left. That's how
That's
it is.
well, that's as far from neutral as you can get.
That's why you need to find people who are always neutral in it,
I guess
because they see the govern of people, and people are good. So you have to govern all of them properly. That's the normal person in the middle.
yeah, but then the point where it becomes not neutral is when you start questioning what defines good governance, and then you go find out, okay, so this, it's like healthcare and whatnot, right? Education, and then you read up on what's currently happening in terms of healthcare and education, and then you decide whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, would you have liked it better or worse? And then that defines your political leaning at that point. You can't really be just neutral because you're subject to a bunch of stuff as you were growing up that's formed your opinions about whether things are, one way or other, and you'll always jump to conclusions.
Yeah, but as I see right now, it's more like traditions are different and rules to govern a particular state is different. When one gets both mixed up, then your governing is completely flawed because you try to look back to your traditions. That's how I look India is right now.
I guess.
It is not a completely logical governing of anything. It's always slanted towards tradition.
Most of it, I'd
Yeah.
say.
And over
Perhaps,
here,
or
I
more frequently. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. Now.
yeah, weird point.
No, I mean, see, even there, if you look at it, people who hold tradition over everything else in their own households, and there are quite a few in India, they would think that's good governance.
Well, that's your personal thing. You can do it in
See,
your house.
exactly.
That's the whole point.
No, but
That's the
if you're
freedom you
saying,
get.
hey, 100 people are doing the same thing in their house, we might as well make it, I mean, put it out there on record. I mean, there's only 5 other people who live in the town. So 105 people, you guys have to do this now. That's it. And so you can't really say that's wrong if you are one of the 100 people who it's beneficial to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you say traditions are more important as a government, you might be good or bad on an individual scale, but most of the country doesn't see why it's not good.
What traditions are
Yeah.
I mean, see, any logical governing that you do is obviously based off the good that comes from all traditions and years of rules that have been put down on that particular land.
Right.
You know what I mean? So these the rules that we have right now is all perfectly done over the last, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of years right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we come to this current state, where I would say the current state is, I would say a couple of years before, you know, or
Right.
I'm talking about sometime 10, 15 years ago when the rules were pretty good and, you know, no one's getting influenced by anything and
Mhm.
it's all normal, to a sudden shift and how people want to handle these things. And it's scary when you just want to like keep, you're not taking logical decisions as a governing decision, but then you're just like relating or leaning over one particular side of a tradition that you feel is good for the whole of the nation. Then it becomes a mess.
That's exactly why I'm saying this, because we're persisting with that side because most people don't see what's wrong.
That's
So
the thing.
if my household were to say, yeah, traditions are supposed to be followed, and the government says, yeah, do that as a law, my parents won't say it's a great thing that the government did it, but they would definitely object when I say that's not a good thing, because they'll be like, hey, it's a good thing anyway, might as well
Mhm.
follow it. What's the
So
worst
yeah,
that can
it's
happen?
just going towards what popular
Yeah.
it is at the end of the day. And it's a weird situation.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's a
Everywhere.
weird situation.
It's not just
it's like now with the whole how other countries also work, it's kind of like, yo,
Hmm.
we don't know where we're going. We need to revise everything, set our path straight, and we're basically a young country. But you know, these are
It's
things
so
that
coincidental. Such a nice coincidence. You have Mind Camp on the table right now as we speak about governance and people.
Man, I read these weird books because you know you have to deeply understand what shapes as humans as we are right now.
Hmm.
You know, this is more, you know, it's more like, okay, I am this way because my dad taught me this way, but who taught him? And if you keep digging into
So
certain small
yeah,
behaviors,
it's just a study of anthropology.
yeah,
Yes.
and then you just like stumble into other things. Like it's not just like then a certain ideas are like crazy. They just keep trickling down to form
Right.
what we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, you know, I'll go through Mein Kampf, understand his ideology, understand what the whole thing was about, you know, just keep a neutral look into it. And then I'll go to Sapiens. Because if I go to Sapiens, you understand human in a biological way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you study an ideology, it could, you know, you'll think about it in a very different way. It's
Right.
reverse thinking.